Vlog number 3. The first reading, Stolen Pieces, I thought it was really interesting. It's kind of crazy how they stole bits and pieces of like famous artwork that people know. I think art increases value as it shows its history, but it is also like best appreciated when it's seen in its original condition. Sometimes it goes like both ways, because seeing something in like original condition, it's still cool. Like that's amazing how it's original. It's like still there and it's all intact. But it's also cool to see like the history through it, what it's been through. Like it shows how old it is, like all the wear and tear. It's still a cool thing to see because it's sort of like vintage, and vintage is usually a cool thing. It shows like all the wear and tear, shows like what's it been through and how old it is. It's just history is always something cool too, next to having it be in original condition. I guess it depends on like what you prefer to see on a certain art piece. Maybe for like a painting, you would want the original condition, versus like a sculpture. Of course, it's gonna be like wear and tear, but it still shows a history and it's still cool. The concept about original. Eva and Franco don't really like original, the idea of original. I think it's overrated, as the book said. They said, what we see in museums is just one of the infinite aspects that a work has taken on. This goes back to what I think art is. It's like art isn't like really original. Like art comes from alternating a previous artwork, or like it's working off someone else's idea, so it's not original. And their idea was probably about someone else. So it's like a chain effect, like a domino effect. Like one idea inspires another art piece or another idea, and it keeps on going and going and going. And I think that's why they don't believe there is something called original. The Darko Maver reading was really scary. I just saw the pictures and was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to read? It looks dark and twisted already, just by the pictures. But I think the art twist that was that most of those pictures were real, like from the wars and all that stuff. And like I think the point that Eva and Franco were like trying to get at is like an eye opener. Like we are so preoccupied with what the news tells us and like all our other like technologies and stuff that we don't really see what's important. Like the news, I don't think the news like shows us everything out there. I think it just shows like some of it. So I guess it's just opening your eyes to like there is more out there than what the news is telling you, or like the media, or what you're sucking yourself into the computer, that there's more that you need to be, that your eyes need to be opened to. There's like more other problems out there. The fake plaque. I think it's criticizing how the city is like using its history to attract tourism, rather having like the history just be its history, but they're using it to attract people. They were describing history as a fiction novel, which is true. Like we write or make our own history that people are like gonna remember, believe. Like someone can just make it up, write it in a book, and like we'll believe it's true. Themes in It's Always 6 o'clock. I really liked that reading. It was really interesting to see all those characters working together. But it was kind of freaky how Mickey hanged himself. But it's really symbolic. Like I think I understand what it meant. But some of the themes I saw was like reality versus fiction. Whether those characters are like real or non-real. The whole immortal thing, like the idea of those characters. Are they moral or do they die? Like, and also the theme about culture. Like, does culture die? Does it die over time? And it kind of goes in hand with like those characters. I don't think the stories ever die or the characters in it. And like culture, I guess some parts of culture do die, like or like some of them still stay. Some of them don't die because they're so powerful and like it's what people are used to, and they'll just keep on doing it. But like how Mickey hanged himself at the end was weird. The whole United We Stand thing. I think Eva and Franco are like saying American Hollywood are like the same. Like Hollywood movies almost always have that hero character they always revolve the movie around. And like in America, there's always someone trying to be the hero, like the president, or like some people trying to do good for the country. They're like trying to be the hero. Or like also Hollywood and America are like competitions. Hollywood is competing with other. In Hollywood, companies of like movies are competing against each other for the better movie. And like America, we compete over like who has the most money, who has a more power. But like in the movie, it's saying that we should be united together and like instead of fighting against competing against each other. That's what the title is saying. United we stand. Instead of being separate, it's saying to share it, like distribute it, instead of fighting all the time. Or, yep.